All right, then let's do it. So this is the InTheLittleWood Iceberg, which I'm worried that I'm not going to know like 80% of it, like just because everything for me is in one ear and out the other. So firstly, 1-bit TTS, of course, that's a thing. I've not unmuted that for now. I'm leaving that muted for the duration of this. I'm obviously in the Yogscast. I'm sponsored by Sneak. Dogwarts is obviously from Third Life, where we were part of a little alliance with Ren Diggity Dog, and we had Ren Chanting, which became Dogwarts, and there was like a whole house system, which there was a proper quiz out for, by the way. That is still on the In the Little Woods channel on YouTube. You'll be able to find the quiz to find out which Dogwarts house you end up being in, which is pretty cool. We've got the Watchers, of course, from the Life series, the lore stuff. Sponsored by Razer, we've got Aha from the first episode, right? Not second. First episode of Last Life, where we're in the Southern Lands with a bunch of the other creators. We've got Fortnite. It's one of the big things I've done. MCC, I participate in often. The VTuber avatar. I'd arguably say the VTuber avatar is probably a little bit lower down, purely because not everybody that knows me through the Life series and the Fortnite stuff will have ever seen the VTuber avatar. So I feel as though it's maybe like a teensy bit down, if I had to guess. I love this one. Tumblr. Tumblr. He uses Tumblr. And also Mean Girls as well. Obviously, my duo with Scott back in... I say back in Limited Life, like it didn't end barely 2 days ago. Wow, the past, man. Just yesterday. Well, not technically yesterday. The day before. I remember it like it was the day before yesterday. Philzer, basically the ongoing comparison that I look like Philzer. Yeah, this one's fair, being in tier 2. A lot of people don't seem to know that I have children, but I've got 2 daughters. I've got Amelia, who is now 3, and Robin, who is now, God, quick maths, like 7 months, something like that. We got PG, which is probably one of the more enjoyable things that I do, where basically every time that I play with Solidarity, I just say a lot of sus things, but they're never technically not PG, but they walk the line. And I think my years in radio helped me find where that line is, which is quite nice. But whenever I do say something sus and make him awkward, he just shouts PG now. And then we did sort of personify, we gave like a physicality to PG, didn't we, during the 30-day hardcore SMP that Timmy set up, where he had a diamond hoe that he would just throw at the ground at people to basically tell them to stop doing that. Nettie, my wife, everybody knows Nettie, brother of Stampy, which is the part where everyone goes, oh my god, what? But yeah, we're related, brother-in-laws now. We've got the listeners, who are basically an offshoot, or I guess like you know, they're of the same being that the Watchers are in the lore of the stories that I run. We've got Screw the Nether. This one, surprisingly, like, because I think maybe a couple years ago this one would be high up, but you'll be surprised at the amount of people nowadays who are like, wait, Martin made that song. I used to listen to that years ago, because you got to appreciate that it has been like a decade or more since that song came out. Like, when did Screw the Nether come out? Screw the Nether. It was 10 years ago. 10 years ago when, though? 10 years ago in... I'll tell you what, it's 11 years ago in August. So it's like 10 and a bit at the moment, which is bizarre. But yeah, so there you go. Screw the Nether is the song that I did with the Yogscast. It was the follow-up to Form This Way, which is a song that isn't properly in rotation anymore. I think I have the original version still up on the LittleWood channel, but it's like unlisted, I think, or privated. But somebody else has got it uploaded. They uploaded it 10 years ago, and it's got almost 500,000 views now, which is quite interesting. Now, what would be interesting is whether there's mention of me talking back and forth with Lady Gaga about that song, because I think that's a cool bit of like trivia. That's Iceberg worthy, I think. We've got the Divorce Quartet, which is obviously myself, Pearl, Cleo, and Scott. We were basically running around with each other's soulmates, even though we should have been hanging out with their things. Say what? You what? So okay, so long story short, I posted Form This Way, the music video, and a little while after that, Lady Gaga came across the song, and basically she tweeted out the song. She called me and Sparkles meta smart humans. I'll see if I can find the tweets, actually, because it's normally quite easy to find tweets from a subject. Where's the advanced search? If I just do Lady Gaga in the Littlewood, that usually brings it up. Yeah, here we go. And this was just like a chain of tweets between the two of us. That here we go. InTheLittleWood goes to Sparkles. Have you seen... Oh, no, that's her saying, have you seen the gamer glasses? I'm obsessed. So that was the second tweet she posted to us. Where was the original one? Where is it? Where's the first tweet? Let's have a look. Oh, where's the original tweet? Maybe if I put Lady Gaga, Meta Smart Human. Where's the original tweet? So what it was she tweeted out the music video. We replied saying, oh, hey, nice to meet you. How's it going? And then basically it turned out, or at least from what I can gather, is she was looking to do some kind of like sponsorship or like fashion thing with Gunner's glasses, which are basically those glasses you put on that give you yellow lenses. So that blue light coming from screens and computers and stuff like that, obviously don't give you quite as much of a headache and stuff like that. So she was launching a new website at the time, which was called like Little Monsters. It was some kind of like Tumblr / MySpace kind of website. And that was basically the first thing that she put on that website, which is bonkers, which is properly weird. I'm trying to find advanced search. Here we go. So where is it? Meta Smart Human. It's either human or humans. Something like that. And then if I do from these accounts, Lady Gaga, I'm trying to find the original tweet. Maybe if I just put InTheLittleWood, maybe it'll come up that way. Here we go. Found it. Got it. Oh no, wait, it's not the original one. Oh, for God's sake. How? Maybe the original one was deleted? Oh, it is, you know. I think it might be. Because it says approved for box art. So we joke saying like, oh, are we allowed to sell the song? And like, you know, we were joking, being like, oh, that means we can sell the song now, right? We can put your stamp of approval on the box art. So that was her saying approved box art. And then this was her talking about Gunner's glasses. And then this was it. So there's one here which says I'm there. There we go. Yeah, that's it. So it's, as Sparkle said, well, there goes the usability of Twitter. We should totally play Minecraft sometime. Now, what followed on from this was a very brief exchange in DMs with Gaga, where basically we were pretty much on the wavelength of if she ever came to the UK, we would record a song together. But then I think the tour that she was due to come on to the UK got cancelled and stuff like that. But it seemed as though she was very much interested in the kind of the gaming scene on the internet. And basically in the end, she ended up doing something with, what's his name? Sky Does Minecraft, Net Nobody. So he appeared in her music video, and then I think they were supposed to do a song together. And from what I heard through the grapevine, is he never pulled the trigger on that. He never got around to doing it. So yeah, I think basically that was the. Oh yeah, look, here we go. Somebody found it in Discord. The tweet. Like the Minecraft video, here are its creators. So I think the original tweet where she bigs up the song is gone. But she says, yeah, like the Minecraft video, here are the creators, Meta Smart Humans. So that is like that could be right down in the depths of the iceberg, in my opinion. But there's a fun little story for you. Lady Gaga tweeting at us. So there you go. Oh yeah, Wayback Machine. That's a good shout. You know what's really funny about that as well is when she tweeted out the music video, me and Sparkles were actually physically together. We were at my second apartment that I had in Bristol, and we were setting up all the wiring and the routing between mine and my ex's audio interfaces so we could do like dual home streaming and stuff. So he was literally there when this all started, and we were like, oh my god. But yeah, so there you go. So we did Form This Way, then we did Screwed Nether, and then a lot of people sometimes don't know that I also did How Do I Craft This Again. So those were my 3 contributions. And then the other song that I did, another Minecraft parody that I did, was a song called New Home, I think I was going to call it. And it was a parody of Payphone. And I think I still have the lyrics saved somewhere, and I think I kind of remember it almost entirely. But the gist of that story was that it was somebody logging into a multiplayer server, and it was kind of like one of these like miscommunications where a guy and a girl meet on a server, and it's like, oh, like they play together for a few hours, then she's like, we're going to be together until the end. And he sees that as like, oh my god, I've got an e-girlfriend, we're going to meet up in real life, we're going to have kids, we're going to get married, we're going to grow old together. But she just meant the end, as in like, so they finish the dragon fight, she logs off, And he's basically in the end like keeping himself warm by putting coal into the into the fire, into the furnace to keep himself warm, hoping that she'll log back in one day. Because she doesn't even jump through the portal, she just logs out right there and then. So yeah, it was that's another song that never made it to the masses, but there you go. There's another one. It's weird, it's funny, I'm answering things from higher up the iceberg, but they're deep buried things, like goddamn. Anything else? Timmy Joke. So there's the joke that Timmy, his real name is actually Jimmy, but there was a Mindvention event, which is a convention that happens in Ireland and now coming to America, excitingly enough. And basically at that event, I think it was Tom, Nettie, and Grian kept calling him Timmy as a joke to wind him up. And then Nettie said, we were talking about me somehow, and Nettie revealed to Timmy that, oh yeah, we're actually dating. I think this was fairly early in our relationship. I think it was like, because we started talking in November, we went official in in January, and I think this might have been more around like kind of the March time. And Timmy just like didn't believe it, so she was like, oh fine, I'll prove it, we'll call him. And then she texted me prior to it saying, call him Timmy when you answer the phone or when you speak to him. And it was basically just a troll from like day dot, which is quite funny. So there you go. We got the Southernlands. Southernlands is the faction or the region that we stood in during the last life series. So it was myself, Impulse, Grian, Mumbo, Timmy. That's all of us, right? Impulse, Mumbo, Grian, Timmy, me. 5 of us. Is that right? 5 of us? I'm pretty sure it was 5 of us. I'm going to feel really bad if there was a 6th person that I don't remember. There were 5, thank God. Whew. The recap raps. So I did a sequence of recap raps. They were like musical summaries of the Fortnite seasons for quite some time. And they basically were posted by Epic themselves on their social media. Almost every single time that I did one, they were really into them. They really enjoyed them. And then what happened one time was, when the Fortnite blackout happened, which was one of the biggest moments in gaming history, their entire social media went completely dark, completely blank, except for one tweet. And that one tweet was a tweet about my music video. So literally everybody on this planet that plays Fortnite was scrambling to social media to find out what was going on. And I was the only person, the only name, the only face on that company's entire branding, which is so strange. Like, I had, again, much like the Gaga thing, I had people from school being like messaging me who I haven't spoken to maybe 10, 15 years, were like, is that you on their socials and stuff like that? So yeah, that was just, it's very bizarre. We got Cherry. Cherry is the thumbnail artist slash lore collaborator now, in a way, for the life series and stuff, which is pretty cool. And she also did the thumbnail art for Rats SMP as well, and will do thumbnails for me, hopefully, fingers crossed, for future SMPs as and when they emerge, which is pretty cool. Oh, sorry, how do I craft this again? He's already on this layer of the thing. I didn't miss anything there, did I? No, I got everything. Yeah, how do I craft this again? Another song that we did. Extra wide hitbox is the ongoing joke, but I think there's a lot of video evidence that I've just got an especially wide hitbox on my Minecraft character. You know, most people's is however wide. Mine is like 25% each way. It's I got a real fat box. No Beard Martin, yeah. No Beard Martin. I think up until I met Nettie, I'd never tried to grow a beard. Like, not even just for fun. I think what it was, right, it was everyone telling me that I wouldn't look good with a beard. So for years and years and years, everyone's like, nah, you wouldn't suit a beard. No, 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 no. And I think I just had such little self-confidence back in those days that I ended up just not even trying. And I think one year I hadn't shaved it for like, I think like 2-3 weeks, and it was starting to get like a bit going. And it was Movember at the time, and it was just kind of like an accident. And then Nettie was like, just let it grow out. Let's see what it does. Why not? You might as well know. And then I got it, and Nettie was like, I like it. I was like, I'll keep it. It just went from there. Kingle. Wow, that's a recent addition. So Kingle is in there. Kingle is the King of the Jungle, my current title on the Ultimate Survival SMP, which I've been playing with a bunch of friends. Zelda. I love the Zelda games. And the thing is, right, is basically the only Zelda games I've ever played are the ones that you see on stream or on videos. I can't think of a Zelda game that I've played other than maybe A Link to the Past, which got like the remake on 3DS, And maybe Ocarina of Time as well, actually. I don't think I played Ocarina of Time on any kind of content. I played Ocarina of Time in one like nice long stretch when I went on a holiday. So I'm like there in the sun, got my DS, and that was the first time I played it start to finish, which was pretty cool. So yeah, so Zelda games, big part of my channel throughout its histories. The Lords. So the Lords is basically, I told Timmy, Joel, and Grian about this thing you can do in the UK where you can buy a Lordship title, but so much so that it is actually like a legally binding thing. So the loophole with it is that you can tell somebody that they own a meter square piece of land on some kind of national park, and that is enough for you to be able to put Lord on your like passport, your driving license, all that sort of stuff. And you also get to choose like the name that surrounds it as well. So basically we were joking about that, and we were playing more so for fun than to be competitive, because our team was like full of banter for that MCC. And I joked, I think we kept changing the rules of what place we had to come. I think we basically were saying if we didn't come last, we would buy each other Lordship titles. So I was Lord Martin Moneymaker because I think I got the most coins on our team. That was the event where Grian slayed like Dream and George, and I think one other person. So he became Lord Grian Dream Slayer or something like that. Timmy, I swear he was Timmy top placer, because I think he came the highest ranked in our team for that event. And then what was Joel's one? Can somebody remind me what Joel's Lordship title was? I just can't remember for the life of me what it was. I'll see if I can actually find a picture of me with my Lord's certificate. Lord Joel Jumperman. What was that for? Was that because he was good at Parkour Warrior? It was. That's really funny. Where's the... Here it is. Here's my Lordship title. There it is. Lord Martin Moneymaker. So I could have that. I could have Lord Martin... I guess it would be Lord Martin Littlewood, but I can have that on my... license if I ever wanted to, which is pretty funny. So there you go. What else we got? Mated Monday. So Mated Monday, I don't really know the origin of, but at some point people started drawing me in a maid outfit. I don't know if we'd spoken about like a cat cafe or some other stuff, but basically we started doing Mated Monday, where basically people on Tumblr or even Twitter draw my character in a maid outfit, basically. And today is Mated Monday, actually, as we record this, which is pretty funny. That was it. Yeah, it was after I came to Tumblr and everybody panicked on there. So I don't know if that was their way of trying to like scare me out or something. Not sure. Is it the Maid from Rats? No, so Maidton existed before Ratsune Miku. It definitely happened beforehand. So that's quite funny. What else we got? Kiki and Pascal, my two cats, Egyptian Mouse. I love them to bits. Christmas Adventure is a big series that we did back in the day. We did it for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. Where basically every Christmas we would have a custom-made Minecraft map, where there would be some form of advent calendar, whether it be a physical one that you walk into, or one where you run down a street and there's different shops and each one of them acts as the advent calendar door. And every day we would put a name under the tree and what the person would want by drawing from the comment section. And there was always a very light overarching story for each of those series, which is pretty cool. And it's something that I would love to bring back this year. So I mean, we're in April at the minute. The people that I was speaking to previously who worked on it before, and some people that work in teams like the Nox crew and Blockception and stuff like that, they've all expressed an interest in doing it. So I'd have to figure out what the budgeting would be for that, to see whether we can bring that series back. So back in the day, it used to be myself, Toby, Lewis, and Henry were the initiators of it, and it was very much Lewis's idea. Lewis was the conceptor, and he invited us to come and play with them. So Lewis and Henry, if you don't remember, were the commentators on the old Nox Crew game show videos and other videos as well. So they were Johnny Smooth and I can't remember what the other character was, but they did these really funny like Anchorman-esque like American accents, but they were really, really good. And then when Henry ended up leaving to go traveling in Australia, we ended up having Mega G-Wolf Elliot come and join the roster as well. So we had a new 4 of us, which was good. We got Stream with Ren. It's an ongoing joke that me and Ren have still not streamed together, even though we really want to. I promise you that will happen this year unless Ren says no, but I'm very, very much invested in making that happen. I am still learning how to become a dungeon master for D&D and learning all the rules and things like that. And I like Ren would be a perfect player for a D&D little one shot, which would be really fun. So that's kind of my current goal and current hope. The lawful maid team Monday is Martin saw someone else on Name MC was wearing a maid skin and got jokingly. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? I was looking at other people. I was looking at somebody's. It was a username on Name MC. I don't know if it was somebody had a name like mine or similar to it. And then they had a load of different content creators in maid outfits, and I got jealous. Yeah, God, I forgot about that. That's reaching into the archives for that one. Jeez. Radio. I used to be a radio presenter before I was a YouTuber. So I did online radio for years. So from the age of about 14, maybe 15, I worked on various Habbo radio stations back in the day. So these were basically radio stations where people would listen to them, and then people would meet up somewhere in Habbo Hotel, whether it was in like private rooms or in public spaces, and you would do giveaways, competitions, just general meetups, things like that. So the first one I worked on was Habbo Hotel FM, which ran for quite a while, but I never particularly liked the management at that station. I always used to butt heads with them. And then a friend of mine, Luke, he introduced me to another station, which was called Habbo Fun FM, and then that's the one that we ended up staying at for years. And random little trivia, because it might come up later on this song, but there was a song called That's Not My Train, which is a parody of the Ting Tings That's Not My Name, and basically that song was inspired by when I met up with the owner of Habbo Fun FM and also like my online girlfriend at the time. The three of us met up at Meadow Hall in Sheffield, the big shopping centre, and we were having this thing where, because we'd only ever heard each other on Skype or MSN like voice calls, we couldn't like look at each other, like it was a bit weird. So we were walking along, and I think it was the owner, Sam, he was telling me the story about how he really struggled to get to where we got to in the end. And he was like, oh, you know, because I was running around the platform and I was like, that's not my train, that's not my train, that's not my train. And then my brain just, boom, wrote like a verse in my head within an instant. So that's how that song came to be. So it was the Habbo radio stuff, you know, sort of tumbled into that. One of my like most proud achievements with the Habbo radio stuff was there was this massive website called Hitbox, which was used as like it was almost like how would you explain it? You would go on Hitbox to look at what the cost and the value was of certain types of furniture. So the currency everybody would kind of go off was Habbo Club sofas. So you'd have to pay a monthly subscription, and you would get basically this horrible green sofa with the little yellow cushions on it. And basically that was like then deemed as like the dollar mark, if you will, like for the commerce of the whole of Habbo. It was really in depth. It was really weird. Like it literally had its own economy. It was nuts. But basically they had a radio station. There was Habbo Fun FM, and then there was a third station called Club Habbo, and Club Habbo was by and far the most popular one. And even though I had the skills and had like, you know, the desire to reach out to more people, I just didn't really ever feel like a good fit there. But I broke through those barriers at one point, because I used to do a chart show on Habbo Fun FM. And basically I did that chart show and I broadcast it to Club Habbo, Hitbox, and HFFM all at the same time in unison. And I was as far as I'm aware, the only person to ever do that, to do like a multicast, and things like that. So that was really cool. That was a big achievement for me. And then because I built up those skills through being a hobbyist over the years, when I then went to university, like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years later, I then started getting involved in student radio, and I ended up being involved in student radio at Nottingham Trent Uni, which is where I went to uni, and they had a station called Fly FM. And Fly FM, there's 2 stations in Nottingham, but Fly FM is the one that I recognized most names having come out of. So there was there's names like Mr. Jam and Lloydie and people like that are all, you know, large British radio presenters. And then when I was there, I joined that really late because I didn't know I was allowed to join that station initially, because my course was accredited by Nottingham Trent Uni, but it didn't take part inside of Nottingham Trent buildings. So I didn't have a student card for those buildings because I would never use those facilities. But on a technicality, I was allowed to come in for the last term. And even though I only had a single term versus a whole year, I put together a demo reel of the few shows that I'd done. And I stuck my teeth in there straight away and like help with making jingles, and helping with like scheduling and stuff like that. And then I ended up winning at a national award show called the Student Radio Awards. I ended up winning an award for Best Newcomer, which was really, really cool. And the award, or the reward for winning that, was to do an overnight show on the network, which is now called Capital, but at the time was called Galaxy. And then from that, I had a few other overnights that I got to do on Capital. So that was what I was doing there. And then alongside doing that, I then started working 4 nights a week on a station in Mansfield, which was just literally called Mansfield Radio. And I was the late show there. So you'd have drive time 4 till 7, and then I was on 7 till 10. So yeah, radio has been a big part of my life for the first half of my life, basically. And then it was literally when I went to the Yogscast office to record Screw the Nether, the vocals for it. I got back from that trip and they'd offered me a room at their offices. And then basically the radio station, the Mansfield one, I got back to went in there the next week and they were like, yeah, so we're doing some cuts at the station. We're only keeping breakfast and drive time and everything else will just be automated. So like, we're really sorry, but we've got to let you go. And I was like, oh, cool. So that means I don't have to make a decision on do I move to Bristol and become a full-time YouTuber. It just kind of fell into my lap. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. That was really, really cool. So yeah, radio, big thing for me. And I think a lot of people can tell in the way that I speak and present and the way that I can think on the fly and I'm able to stay PG when I need to be. It all stems from that. That's very much responsible for my successes over the years, because even in the early days, knowing how to speak to an audience, and I was doing it on a professional level in another medium, I did stand out among the early YouTubers, you know, because I started back in the same time as, you know, when Captain Sparkle started out and the Yogscast was still doing Israfel, and you know, you had the likes of C-Nanas and Hutch and, you know, everybody like that, all kind of, you know, the skills that I acquired then all carried through massively, which was cool. Would you do radio again? Yeah, I probably would. I think if like all of this YouTube and streaming stuff ever, you know, wasn't profitable enough, if I wasn't able to do it full time, I would see if I could divvy in some radio work to kind of, you know, plug the gap. And then if YouTube continued to dwindle, then I would maybe lean back into radio. The problem with radio is there's just not very much money in it. And that was the biggest deterrent for me for going for it in the long run is, yeah, you can get paid hundreds of thousands a year, but that's only if you work at like national level. You're on like a Capital or a Radio 1 or something like that. But it just doesn't happen at the lower levels, unfortunately. But even like my little show once a week, I was having to do university, YouTube, working retail at the weekends, and then also doing a bit of radio, all to kind of get enough money in. Oh, drink break. So yeah, so there you go. That's the radio stuff. The VTuber lore. So I debuted a VTuber avatar last year because I was finding that the channel was kind of plateauing, partly through growth, but then also through my kind of obsession with streaming and things like that. And I'd always seen VTubers, and obviously like traditionally VTubers are like, you know, Ugu anime girls and stuff like that. But I started to see more and more people were doing more like less chibi style avatars and things like that. And honestly, I was starting to just get really tired. I was a new father. I had another child on the way, and I just looked a bit out of it on camera constantly. So I thought it would be a perfect way to like hide myself for a while, whilst I was kind of working through a lot of, you know, real life stuff. So yeah, we had the avatar created by somebody called Octoplex. The character was designed by Nina, and then I sat down and wrote a load of lore for the VTuber because I wanted to basically I wanted to step into the VTuber scene, and because a lot of people when they start up a VTuber, they start as somebody who doesn't have a following, doesn't have an audience, and they come in straight away as the character and they build up from there. But I had seen a few people who were like, you know, existent streamers, and then they shifted over to becoming VTubers, and they got a lot of flack for it. And I think it's because it was a bit of a half-assed effort, and almost seen as a way of just kind of like farming audience. Whereas I actually really enjoyed the art form of it. And then I decided that I was going to go the whole way with it. So I commissioned Carla Sketch to do illustrations for a like a debut video. I wrote backstory because that's what a lot of the other popular ones do, from like VShojo and HoloLive and stuff like that. So I really wanted to come in and be super respectful, really show that I wanted to give this a good crack. And the VTuber lore is now one of my favorite things that I've created, which is cool. And the VTuber lore does tie to the limited life, or I say the limited life, the life series, the watcher listener lore, but we just don't know exactly how just yet, but we will sometime in the future, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's cool. And I think I've done everything on that layer. I got very caught up in the radio stuff, but it's nice to kind of tell this story once and then I don't have to tell it again. You know what I mean? Overwatch was huge for my channel for a while. Before Fortnite had its pop, or even Fortnite even existed, I was in a period of my channel where, like, because what it was, for the first 2 years, I did Minecraft solely, and that was it. And Minecraft wasn't developing more new ideas at a pace where I felt like that inspired by it. And anytime that I tried to play something else, people were like really genuinely quite nasty about it. So I just went cold turkey on Minecraft, which is probably one of the worst things that I've ever done. It's probably one of the worst things I've ever done in terms of like business decisions, but I think for my mental health it was so much better in a way. Oh wait, was the chair in there? Where was the chair? Or do you just want me to acknowledge the picture of the chair? That's my chair. It's a Razer Isker XL, which is nice. But yeah, basically there was a period where I was uploading a lot of content. So I was doing Evo, I was doing Overwatch, I was doing Zelda playthroughs, doing all kinds of stuff. But Overwatch was huge, and even to this day, all of our sub-sounds are Overwatch. All of the sub-sounds are, the stream could always use more subscribers and stuff like that, so they're really cool. And the voiceover artist for that, by the way, is a lady called Shella. SubSounds, is it the command? Yeah, there you go. Twitch.tv/Shella, SHELLAH, or X Shella, as in the letter X Shella, on Twitter, which is good. So there you go. Property Police was my little duo name with Timmy back in the Minecraft Evolution series. 30-day SMP, pretty recent one. We spoke about that a minute ago. And honestly, that's one of my favorite things that I've done, was the pranking Timmy alongside Flip and making the stinky poo-poo head, and changing his hat into changing his hat into a poo, which was originally a pumpkin. Also, I feel like I didn't gush enough about Rats SMP, because that's where the hat making stuff started. So we'll sort of tie it into this one. So Rats SMP was a really, really fun and one of my favorite SMPs I've ever done, if not my actual favorite, even over like the Christmas adventure and stuff, which was basically an SMP where we were tiny little rats living in a big house with humans and cats that would constantly try to catch us or kill us. And each week there was a cameo, a celebrity guest, a different streamer, and then there was an overarching narrative that was playing out throughout it. And I did manage to tie that into my VTuber lore, which was very cool. So go and check that out if you haven't. And this is some of Cherry's lore as well, which I've seen Cherry draw this before with these colorings and stuff, but I still don't know all of it. I've seen the word archives and Cherry tweeting that, but I don't know the full extent of it. I really need to look into that. So yeah, so there you go. Bad maths is me being historically bad at maths. I keep killing my teammates in Minecraft, or just misjudging ender pearl throws and stuff like that. It's an augmented, sorry, not aug. Every time I see AU, I think augmented reality. The Magnus Archives. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Making Cherry sweat. We got Silos. So Silos is a music project that I set up with Sparkles. Because obviously where I previously worked in radio, I've always had an interest in music. And obviously I've done some lyricism, but never gone much further than that. So I bought a little, is it called a Korg Mini? My name's Korg. Oh, I'm Mini. Is it Korg Mini? Let me see if I can find one. Oh no, maybe it's not called that. I thought it was called a Korg Mini, which is basically, it was just like a tiny little keyboard, which is like a MIDI controller. Korg MIDI, maybe if I put that. Yeah, oh, that's it. It's called Akai. If I open up the image. Yeah, here you go. So that's what I got. So I got this when I was initially learning how to make music, and basically me and Sparkles decided we were going to do a music project together. I used this more so when we moved into making lo-fi music, but we did a couple of tracks with Silos, because basically the idea behind Silos, the wording of it is So if you ever hear of a missile silo or a grain silo, it's basically a large container for storing something. And basically that's why we called the band silos, is because we knew we were going to be doing different genres of music. And basically this was, we did 2 tracks, at least we did 2 sort of dancey tracks, and then we did some lo-fi stuff after that. But this is one of the tracks we did. I think we released just an EP straight out the gate. But this has got a friend of Sparkle's called Kiona doing the vocals for it. I think I wrote the majority of the lyrics for this, and then Sparkles chipped in. But this was very much like a summer song. In the right place at the wrong time. You walked right into my eyeline. You didn't know it, I was shook. I really like this song. So I pushed through. Got a path to the dark mystery with the tattoo. I'll never forget that look. I will replaying this evening. Sunrise I have to believing. You came and when it was fleeting. What were our chances of meeting? How you made me feel I crave you more. No one's made me feel like the before. I wanna live in this moment. I'm here and my arms are open. Oh, I got goosebumps then. That's mad. I've not listened to this song in so long. I'm really proud of this song. Holy shit. I hadn't thought about this in a while. God, this is a banger. I'm here and my arms are open. And you know what? I think actually this music was done by... So sorry, I should probably credit actually properly. It was me and Sparkles and Andrew Sinclair, who was from a group called Approaching Nirvana. So I think this music was actually made by Andrew, and then me and Sparkles wrote the lyrics, and Sparkles did some tweaking to the production, and then we brought Kiona on to do the vocals. But yeah, we met Andrew years and years ago, I think like a TwitchCon, and the 3 of us really hit it off. But yeah, I really liked that song. And then there was another song we did, which was called Gravity, which was written by me almost entirely. I remember I got stuck on the hook to this song, and then Sparkles walked. This was a time when Sparkles was living with me, and I remember I was in the guest room downstairs writing the lyrics, and I got really stuck, like really got writer's block. And basically Sparkles was like, I tell you what, I'm gonna go to the shop, have a little play around, see if you can come up with anything. And then he came back from the shop, and I just had like, the hook written. I also sing in this, but my vocals are abysmal just because I'm not a singer. But this song was writing from my own experiences. I'm not going to go into it because it will just cause unnecessary drama. But I was writing about my own experiences, which is why I decided to be on the vocal for it. Your gravity is pulling me down, stronger than it has before. It's so like falsetto almost. Left me free with my head in the clouds, then you change your mind, I start to fall. When I look down and sorrow you control. And I ended up using this music for the for like the end slate on my videos for a long time. I can't get off. I can't get off. I can't get off. Just to point out, by the way, everyone always jokes that, oh, I can't get off. It does mean that. It does mean that. But basically, that means I can't get off because you weigh me down. But also, the whole song about gravity is about being caught in somebody's reins. And the whole symbolism of this song, or the mental image that I have for this song, is basically about a rocket trying to get off a planet, but the planet is reeling you back in. So it's double meaning. PG! Dum, 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 dum. The rocket is my pee-pee. Yeah, nice. Into the void of this galaxy, until I find my new star. I think the lyric there is the love inside this soil, but the lyric the subtitle says life. Yeah, I think it's love. Ooh. Can't see the roots standing tall. Yeah, that song is very angsty, I'll be honest with you. But I wrote it at a time when I needed to write a song just to get my feelings out. So there you go. All right then. So where even were we? Where even were we? Silos, that was it. So Silos was a music project. Other than that, what other stuff did we do with Silos? I could have sworn we did some remixes. Oh no, you know what we didn't? What's it called? Corridor? No, LoFi Locker. God, that was it. So we ended up for some reason departing from the Silos brand and specifically made a lo-fi channel called LoFi Locker. So we did a little remix of, I did a little remix of A New Adventure from Hightail, which isn't that great. It's just, it was my first step into doing any kind of music production. This song's quite cool. This one was cool. I think this was just like an old leftover thing that Sparkles had. Ding, 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 ding. We got like this locker icon for some reason. I think Sparkles wrote this piece of music when he was in Japan, if I remember correctly, which is why you've got the backdrop. But I like the idea that this looked like a locker door, but also like it looks like the grates to look into the locker, but also it almost looks like a window or a doorway into a hallway going inwards. I thought it was a really smart logo. I was proud of that one. And then we did this on one of the Jingle Jam charity streams. We made it live on stream. We made a lo-fi version of Carrot for a Cock. It's got like, you know, the little sort of like, the old vinyl static. It's got the keys, everything you would ever want. But it is nice. Nice. There you go. Anyway, so that's another music project that we did. What else we got? Nino Cooney. Oh, Nino Cooney. Nino Cooney, I literally played this morning, chat, because Amelia has got the doll of Drippy, Lord of the Fairies, who you can see in chat right now. But yeah, basically Amelia this morning was running around with Drippy and she was like, I want to see Drippy. So we pulled it up on the TV on the Switch and she got to see Ding Dong Dell, and we went into the deep dark woods as well. So yeah, it's nice sharing that love with her. And speaking of love, oh my god, I love One Piece. I was introduced to it by Nina Serena and Sherlock Humes from Yogs and High Rollers respectively. And yeah, they introduced me to the series, and I remember absolutely barreling through that series. I literally would like go straight from work straight to Forbidden Planet and straight home and read like 2 volumes a day. And I did that for a while, and I'd come in every day and be like geeking out to Nina and Mark about it, because they were already quite a way in. I mean, they were already in Dressrosa at least, but I'm sure they were a bit beyond that, because I remember Nina had this Doflamingo statue on her desk at the very first Yogs office. And when I went, and what was also really nice about that, actually, a little sort of trivia of that, is when me and Draz went to Japan, so Draz took me on a trip to Japan as like a wedding present, which is fucking insane, like such a crazy, generous gift. And we went to Japan, going around, having a great time, and we were over in the area of Japan or Tokyo where the Tokyo Tower is, and at the time, they had this really cool One Piece exhibit there where you got to watch a small stage performance as well as watch a unique mini episode which took place on an island that had Tokyo Tower on it, and it was this big, like, you know, like wide, like full panoramic screen that they animated it on. And we'd planned to be going there already, and then just by chance, like imagine this, right? I live and work right with Nina and Mark. Like, well, I didn't live with them, I live near them, but work with them every single day. And I go to the opposite side of the planet, and we cross each other on an elevator or escalator. So we were going to the Pokemon shop, and as we were going up the escalator, those two came down, and we were like, what are the chances of that happening? That is insane. And basically we'd already booked tickets, each of us booked tickets to go to the One Piece museum that evening, and we were like, oh my god, what what are the chances? And what was really, really nice, and then I feel like we kind of unintentionally were gate crashing the rest of the day for them, is after we saw each other at the Pokemon Center, before we went to the thing later that night, Mark had proposed to Nina in a park at the foot of the or nearby Tokyo Tower. So yeah, that was a whole thing. So we were literally there to celebrate their new engagement and to go and geek out about One Piece together. So One Piece has like a really, really special place in my heart, and it's still ongoing now. I tell people constantly, if you don't read it or if you don't watch it, treat yourself to it. Honest to God, I think reading it would be easier because you can do that, you know, on the bus. You can do it whilst you're sat at your desk. You can do it on your phone and stuff like that. It's a really cool series. It's worth the investment. I get it's 1,081 chapters now, but it's going to be one of the biggest end of stories in fiction ever, basically, because the series has been running for 25 years. It's sold more copies than Harry Potter. Like, it's big. Yeah, it's huge. I love One Piece. Read it. It's great. It's silly. It doesn't take itself seriously too much, and it's just great. And there's lots of, like, I think a lot of my style of writing lore for both Limited Life as well as the VTuber stuff stems from how One Piece is structured. It's very big influence on me, which is cool. So yeah, there you go. Another big influence, Jet Set Radio. So Jet Set Radio, one of the first games I ever played. It might even be the first full Let's Play I did aside from the Zelda adventure. I think it might be the first non-Minecraft game I played on my YouTube channel. Played Jet Set Radio Future specifically, because I'm not actually that much into the original Jet Set. I only really like Future. And there was a game that got announced about a year or two ago now by a studio that create a game called Lethal League and Lethal League Blaze. And they've got a game coming out called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. And I am super excited for this game. So this is basically acting as like a spiritual successor, because Sega just aren't touching Jet Set Radio ever, it seems, which is weird because they still put Beat and Gum and things like that into every little Sega Classics game that they do, or they put him in Super Monkey Ball and stuff, yet they just won't make a new game, and it's really bizarre. So basically this team are basically putting a game together, and it looks great. And it's not limited to just rollerblade neither. You've got BMXs, skateboards, you can even just free run as well if you want to. But this comes out on August 18th, and I am like super stoked about it. Like really, really excited about it, so I can't wait. And I have played it. I've played it for a bit. So when I went to TwitchCon last year in Amsterdam, the offices that they work from are just a little bit out the city centre. So I hopped in Tim's car, Tim Remmers, one of the studio leads, and I got to go and play it. But I also can't say anything about it. I can say I've played it. I can't even say whether I loved it or hated it or anything like that. I can just say I played it, and I'm excited to play it, you know, when it comes out in its full thing, which should be a bit of a hint. Anyway, Form This Way, Minecraft parody. This was actually my way of getting into the Yogscast. So Form This Way was a parody of Lady Gaga's song Born This Way. We've gone through that whole spiel already. But the thing that some people don't know is that I used, obviously, Granny Bacon, Simon Lewis, and Old Peculiar as backup dancers doing the Thriller dance with their broken elbows that bend the wrong way for some reason, doing the Thriller dance in the music video, because I was a massive, like, Israfel fanboy. And I basically posted the song on their forums at the time in the main Minecraft category, and those were busy forums back in the day, because Twitter and stuff weren't really that much of a thing back then. People had a Twitter, but the forums were popping. And what I used to do is I used to, like, check the forum once every few hours, and anytime that my thread fell out the first page of threads, I just replied to, like, one comment, and there'd be like 6 or 7 comments there, and I replied to one every so often, so it just kept bumping up and up and up and up. And then eventually I got a DM from Lewis on the forum, and I thought, like, oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. He's going to tell me to stop spamming. He'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? But actually he was then like, oh, do you want to jump on Vent? And I was like, yeah, sounds good. So then basically I ended up jumping on Vent, and they said, we want to put the song on our channel. Are you up for it? And I was like, yes, I would very much like that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So that's what that was. So there you go. Speakers is a joke at the moment that it's another clan, if you will, of the beings that are known as the watchers and the listeners. we were joking about, you know, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. They may become a plot point in the future, but as of right now, they're literally not in any of my documents of writing. So there you are. Sock mic was basically when I lived in Bristol and was working from home. I didn't have a pop filter for my microphone. And I don't know why I never bought one. I think it's because it became a bit of a gimmick of the stream. So basically I had a sock on the microphone, and often a Christmas sock, wasn't it? I mean, even have an emote in chat dedicated to it as well, which is pretty funny. Which ones have I not done yet? I guess on this one, just Red Spring. So Red Spring is the idea that I had for betraying Ren in the Third Life series had we won the battle at Dogwart. So we would have won the battle, and then I would have turned on him in a moment's notice. And then when he perished, I was going to type in the chat that Red Winter has ended and Red Spring has sprung, or Red Spring has begun. So all this talk of like, oh, it's really out of character for Martin to betray in a live series. It's not. I've been trying to do that shit since day one. So there you go. Right, even deeper layers. What do we got next? We've got, in fact, if I leave it beneath me so you can see down here, we've got In the Little Cubed, which was a collaboration between myself and Nerd Cubed, who we first met in person at Eurogamer, EGX, way back when. And I think it started off as me teaching him how to play Minecraft. And we did that for a little while. And then we transitioned into playing lots of different games together. And then eventually we ended up doing a lot of GTA stuff together. I remember that being quite a long stretch. And that collaboration was always interesting because that collaboration came around at a time when I was doing lots of content. Like I was doing like 3 videos a day, 7 days a week. And I was really just like churning out the episodes and kind of running myself ragged, and I was probably in the most unhealthy work-life balance I'd ever had at that point. And I think I hadn't done much living life, and I didn't have much life experience, and Dan is significantly more like eloquent and intelligent than me. So I remember always when we filmed together that I always felt really on the back foot and really felt like I was having to try super hard to kind of keep up with his wit and stuff like that. So I can't watch any of those old videos back because I cringe at myself a lot. But at the same time, I don't regret it because I think he helped me form more of an identity, and he helped me form more of a comedic style through working with him. And it was really good. It really kind of like put me through my paces. So as much as I look back at it fondly for having fun, but I was in my own head the whole time we played, every time, forever. Because I think we were quite different personalities in a lot of ways. So it was almost like it shouldn't have worked, but it did. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love Dan. And I've just seen Dan has actually started posting on TikTok, and his sort of like his punny and witty way of like conveying information works so perfectly for TikTok. So if you haven't looked at his TikToks yet, they're really good. He will just basically give you like a breakdown of a game, essentially. What's his name? Is it Nerd Cubed? Official Nerd Cubed. There we go. There's only 4 of them so far, but look, you can see 43k, 162, 116, 10k for the latest one so far. They're really good. They're really short, really sweet, and I think they're basically like chopped down versions of his YouTube videos, basically. So yeah, big recommend on that. That would be great. Where were we at? Oh, there we go. Kickflip was the original music that I had as my intro music on my YouTube videos. Let me find it. Kickflip Apple Music or Apple GarageBand, whatever it was. Here we go. So what it was when I started doing YouTube, I think it was I'd had a PC like my whole life, and then when I went to college, they told us that it'd be better for us to be on a Mac because a lot of the programs we'd be using would be doing that. They showed us how to make like a Hackintosh or whatever it's called, you know, where you have like Mac OS but on a Windows PC or whatever. And they showed us how to do that, or they said they would show us how to do that. So I ended up moving over to a Mac initially, and this was one of the songs that came with iMovie or with GarageBand, whichever one you were using. And it was a song called Kickflip. And I just needed some music for my video intros. This is the long version that I would use on the end slate at the end of the videos. And it's so funny because I think this appeared in an episode of, I want to say it was How I Met Your Mother and a few other American sitcoms. And then obviously other YouTubers and stuff like that would end up using this music because it was royalty free, and still is to this day as far as I'm aware. But yeah, This was my music, and this is the part people remember. So I used that for a long old time. I think I originally came across that music from, I want to say it was either CTFXC, which was an old vlog channel with Charles and Ali, or it might have been on Shay Carl's vlog channel, one of them. I'm not saying it, chat. I'm not saying it. Insert pre-puberty. You know what's funny though is I was like mid to late puberty when I first made those videos, because I didn't. Yeah, I would have been around that age. My voice has changed, I think, a fair bit. Even just in like, even when I watch the Evo videos, my voice sounds really different there. And I don't know if it's just naturally dropping over time or whether it's the way I rest in my lower registry is changing or something. But you know, I'm certainly at the other end of puberty once we were doing Evo, but I still sound so different then to how I sound now. Yeah, 2 puberties, basically, it feels like. 100%. Grew a beard in the second one. Never did in the first one. But, yeah, there you go. Dingly Hopper Rocks is just this silly ongoing joke that we've got about it being an important item in any context of chat. Basically, it's a play on, I think, Hop Rocks from Fortnite, and it kind of just goes from there. It's a bit of a silly one. Havagander is one of my favorite series of all time. Havagander was a way that I could play games that weren't Minecraft, and people wouldn't kick off about it. If they thought that it was like episode 1 of a new game and stuff like that, they would lose their shit. Whereas if I just did a one-off and Havagander at a series like that, then basically that would basically, people would recognize that it was just like a one take, a one look. And it always makes me a bit sad thinking of Havagander, because the last time that I spoke about Havagander in any kind of professional capacity was the last time that I spoke to TB, Total Biscuit. So Total Biscuit had begun a series called Havagander, and then he recognized from search results that I had the same series name, and he sort of touched base with me being like, are you okay if I do this? And I was like, yeah, it's fine, man, go for it. I was like, I haven't used it in about 6-7 months. I was like, feel free, go for it. But yeah, I think that exchange to memory was my last exchange that I had with TB. Unless we'd seen each other at BlizzCon a little bit after that. I saw him and his wife there. But yeah, the random little bit of trivia with Havagander is that was one of the things that me and TB sort of, you know, had a little back and forth about. So there you go. Sickness buff. Basically, sickness buff is is basically the fact that I couldn't win an MCC forever and ever and ever. Behind Jordan, Captain Sparkles, I was the longest running loser to never have won an MCC and gotten a coin from the beginning of its entire inception. But when I got COVID, I then ended up winning. So I ended up winning with Erit and with Finster and with... Who was our third on that team? Who was the third? Finn, Erit, and... Was it Rye Guy? Was it Pete? It wasn't Pete. Erit... Quig! That was it, it was Quig. Yeah, it was Quig. Because I was messing with Quig, teaching him, like, wrong British sayings and stuff. That was a really fun team, genuinely. That team is, like... I think a lot of the teams that I get put on is because... I put on the application form to Scott saying, like, I'll play for fun or to win, which is why I didn't win an MCC for ages, is because I maybe would have won sooner had I said, you know, I want to win an MCC, I'll play competitive, but I just love being a part of it. Like, I've always enjoyed participating in Nox Crew products from, like, day dot, like, for ages and ages. So, yeah, so that's that one. Where were we? Oh, Doc M's Diamond. So this was during the Hermitcraft charity live stream that we did last year for Gamers Outreach, where we were basically raising a bunch of money to have special carts that could be used in hospitals to help kids that are in long stay play video games. And during that charity stream, Doc had come over as one of like the milestones and the goals, and basically showed how many diamonds he had, because that was, I think, a bit of a mystery in the story of the Hermitcraft server. And basically he dropped them all. Everybody like stole them as a joke for a minute to make him sweat, and then basically everybody gave them back except for one, and that one is in my inventory. So when Hermitcraft finishes and they give out the map as a download, that diamond block is in my inventory, and I also like wrote like hi or something like that using leaf blocks in my inventory. So when that comes out, I don't know how you even look at that data, but apparently people know to do it. That is where it is. He's still looking for the diamond to this day. Is he really though? God, can you imagine? But that was a really cool live stream. And actually just recently, Scar has actually been going to, I'm assuming it's the hospital that he personally selected as the one that he wanted to kind of see an installation at. But this is really cool. Check this out. There it was. So we went to Randall Children's Hospital, which is in Portland. And yeah, basically these are the carts getting taken in there, which is really, really cool. So they've got Xboxes, they're loaded up with games, and basically they're all like made to work and be sterile and easily cleanable in hospitals and stuff, which is really, really cool. So oh oh god, sorry. Oh, that just hit me out of nowhere. Sorry. Every time I see this actually, every time I see this as materialized into something, oh, it gets me. Bloody hell. Oh god, it's just cool. These are happy tears. It's just, I don't know, that really caught me off guard. It just hit me like a truck. But yeah, so that was really cool, and I'm still very, 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 very honored that the Hermits agreed as an entire collective that I was the right person for the job to come on and be the speedy mediator / donation reader. I think I'm one of only about 3 people that aren't Hermits to ever log into the Hermitcraft server, which again is a very, very cool thing, a huge honor. I think other than actual Minecraft game developers, I'm the only other rogue person to go in, I guess, prior to the Empires crossover. Sorry, yeah, prior to the Empires people, but that was a part of a whole separate thing. But yeah, it's very cool, very, very cool. What else we got? The Prime Wrap. I really enjoyed the Prime Wrap. So the Prime Wrap, if you don't know what it is, was basically you can sub to a Twitch channel for free once a month if you've got Amazon Prime. So if you've already got it to watch Prime Video, or you get your delivery sooner or free and all that sort of stuff, you get a free sub from a website called Twitch Prime. And basically I had this little rap that I used to do, and like there used to be like letterbox black bars would come into the screen and there were lyrics at the bottom, and I would basically rap in real time to convince people to use their Prime sub on me that month, which was cool. Do you still remember the lyrics? I don't know if I do. I'd have to hear the music. Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to fire up File Explorer now to have a little nosy, and we'll have a little look if I can find it. We'll carry on. Oh, here we go. If I just search Dropbox, if I just search the word Prime, that's probably the best phrase I can search for. What we got? There's Prime Tracer. Trying to find out which one it is. I guess it would be a video file more than anything. No, I'm not seeing it. I thought it would be easy to find, but I'm not sure it's there. I guess it would be an MOV file, because where it had transparency on it, it would be an MOV. But no, it was cool. It was cool. The Prime Wrap was really fun, and the Prime Wrap was something that I was doing prior to T-Pain streaming and him doing his intros and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't get rid of it for that reason, but I started seeing people coming in kind of like accusing of copying and blah, 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 blah. And also I think I lost the music at one point, so I wasn't actually able to change parts of it for some reason. I can't remember what it was, but there's a reason that I phased it out and stuff. In the clips channel in Discord, have you actually got a clip of it, of me doing the Prime Wrap? Oh my god, you have. Let's see it.
Broadcasting most days, plus I got a big dream.
700 subs, can we do it?
It costs a little money,
but I hope you think through it, because you like what you're watching and you like what I'm saying.
Or maybe mute the player just to
see what I'm playing on your second monitor, and giving you company is one of the reasons that maybe you'll sub to me.
Tier 1 to 3, you're doing all for free. Won't cost you $1 if you're listening close to me.
Take your Amazon Prime and plug it to your Twitch. It's legit, even quicker than the bars that I spit.
You get 1 free sub
every 30 days.
You can use it on this channel and
be part of the craze. It's amazing that you're feeling so generous.
And in a few more bars, you know that I'll be entering it.
Twitch TV, sub for free.
You can hit me with the follow, so there's no money to borrow. Hey!
Twitch TV,
Or you can buy a shirt, you'll smile till your face hurts, baby. Donate to me.
Via my tip jar on Streamlabs. You can see me like concentrating there. I heard the battle bus during that, which is pretty funny. One of my favorite songs that I did back in those days, because this was during peak Fortnite. This was like, you know, around the time we were doing the Fortbites and stuff, was the bloody Wi-Fi Wizard. What a song that was. They were just all silly improvised songs. Yeah, we're not Streamlabs anymore. We're Stream Elements. But yeah, that's funny. Nox Crew Game Show was the series that they ran and the game that they made before the Minecraft Championship ever became a thing. Which is pretty cool. Hashtag blame Toby is the old thing of basically, if anything ever went wrong back in the day, in the earliest days of recording our YouTube videos, it would always be a case of blaming Toby by default, because it often was his fault, but even if it wasn't, we would blame him. So, so that's that. In the Little Ban is interesting. So In the Little Ban is basically the 48-hour period in which I was banned from Twitch because I played Phoenix Rising, I think that was the name of the game, which I never got around to finishing, actually, and I really liked that game for what I played of it. Phoenix Rising game. So it was a game that I think was going for that kind of like Breath of the Wild kind of market. And mechanically, it was really good. It was really cool, really fun. And it had this kind of like Greek mythology vibe to it. And I just never got around to finishing it. I'm pretty sure they even did like either a sequel or a very significant DLC added on to the game. And basically, In the Little Ban happened because I went live and played the game 25 minutes before the game was like the embargo dropped for the game. So I like messed up my time zones, or I just kind of forgot, and it was like barely scratched the surface. Like I wouldn't have even gotten as far in as reviewers would have done in like the hour or two they got given prior to the game's release. And basically what happened then was, over the course of the next few days, the next 48 hours, I was posting these like little silly videos where I was like not dealing with the ban well at all. I was like talking to my cereal boxes as though it was chat, and I was out in the garden doing VR, and there was loads of really silly stuff with it. And there was like this almost like Rocky training montage at the end where I was like lifting up my green screen as like doing reps of it and stuff like that. Has the strike worn off by now? It has. Yeah, it has. But there were loads of like funny things inside of there. It was really good. Show them. I don't know if I have them, honestly. I don't know if I have those. And where I've like done a purge of my Twitter and stuff, they'll be lost to time on that side. Unless I posted them on like, I don't think I posted them on Instagram. I'm not sure I did. But yeah. They might be on TikTok, but I'm not sure they are. That's fine. Anyway, I'm in The Escapist 2. Yeah, The Escapist 2 video game from Team 17. I love the first one. Played it to death. Played a bunch of custom maps. It was a huge staple of my channel back in the day. People loved watching me play The Escapists. And basically, they added me as an NPC that you can get as a random prisoner in your game in the second game. So he comes with the blonde hair, the green headband. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that was good. I think that's everything from that one. Oh god, we're not far now. So we are on the lowest levels. The Big Friday live stream. So every Friday night, because I was in my early to mid 20s, but didn't like going out into town and stuff, because like in the UK, people are just, there are people that go out just to find a fight. Like they don't go out to have a drink and then they have a bit too much and then they get into a scrap. Like they literally go, right, we're gonna go have a fight tonight. It's like, what? And it's just like the whole drink culture in the UK, I just don't like and never have. So I would spend my Friday nights in, because I was single and also not going out to drink, basically just streaming. But the Big Friday live stream used to be a big spectacle. Every Friday night, we would do some kind of big collaboration, even if it was just like me, Toby, and a few other people playing, or we would do like massive viewer games and do stuff in that regard. And we'd have a bunch of prizes and giveaways, and it was just this big spectacle, I guess. And it was really, really cool. And we did it for ages, and I don't really know why we stopped, but that was something we did for a while. Wish Background. This one's going to hit you in the nostalgia. Let me load up Wish Background. So this is music made by Kevin MacLeod, who is from Incompetech, who makes a bunch of royalty-free music that you will have heard all over YouTube for years and years and years. And this was the key music for the Christmas adventure. Not only because it was really good music, but also for the simple fact that this music is 19.5 minutes long, which was probably about the average length of the Minecraft episode. So it meant from a soundtracking standpoint, life was so easy. We recorded the episode, we put the music on underneath it, and you didn't have to do anything else. Like, it was mad. It's not like Limited Life where I had to do 8 tracks per episode, sound effects, all that kind of stuff. Like, it is, look at it, 19 minutes and 34 seconds. The dream right there, absolute dream. But yeah, Wish background, used it constantly, still use it to this day, love it to bits, so good. We got Cott's Kingdom of the Saplings, which is a let's play that I just don't remember anything of. I remember like a few little mental images and that moment when the creeper scared me as I walked into a house. But that's one of those things where it's like, it's so long ago that I just don't have any recollection of it. I knew it was called Kingdom of the Saplings. I know that I used a mod that let me have a kingdom and a few NPCs, but I just don't remember it. I just genuinely don't remember that series at all, even though it's so special to people. And I think we even did Kingdom of the Saplings 2, and it was basically just like a mod pack. I'm trying to remember if Kingdom of the Saplings 1 or 2 was done with the Yogsbox, or was the Yogsbox a separate SMP that I did? Not sure. But yeah, that was an old series. Steve Evo-chan. You're gonna have to fill me in on what that one is. Fill me in on that in a second. Old stream alerts. I don't remember what our old stream alerts were, to be honest. See, this is the stuff, this old stuff, I just don't remember. That whole not remembering Cots thing, by the way, was the same thing where I heard that, what's his name, Zac Efron couldn't really remember anything about High School Musical. And I always thought, like, how? That was, like, one of the biggest things you've done. And then now I get it. It's like, if enough time has passed and you've worked on enough other projects, it does just fall into the background. It's wild. Oh, the Bob Ross ones and loads of money. What was the Bob Ross sound effects that we had for old stream alerts then? I remember the loads of money. So it's from an old Harry Enfield sketch. Harry Enfield, loads of money. I don't know how much of this I can play, but we'll go for it. Where is it?
Oh, you! Shut your mouth and look at my wad! Loads of money!
It wasn't that bit. It's the chorus. It goes like, loads of money, probably.
What that? Loads of money!
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I didn't want to play it like too long in full just in case I got flagged, but yeah. I love Bob Ross, so hearing the beat the hell out of it made me happy. Oh my god, yeah, the beat the devil out of it. There's just one episode of Bob Ross where he goes like I mean, he does it in a lot of episodes, but there was one episode in particular where Bob Ross absolutely fucking batters the shit out of his paintbrush. And I think that was the subscribe button. I think when somebody subbed, it was like, you know, it was so weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay, yeah, I do remember that now. God, I forgot about that. We got related to Stampy. Of course, people have learned that over time. Trash as the bag is just that bad boy right there. It's not trash, though. Inside of that is... No, actually, you're right. That is trash. There is trash in that. It used to have important documents in it, but it is just a trash bag currently. Although it's not trash as in, like, I don't have, like, a sandwich or, like, crisps at my desk. It's, like, old packaging, so, like, cardboard and, like, plastics and things like that. It's not anything that would, like, go off. But yeah, trash as the bag is a current thing. Season changing skin. Yeah, kind of, I guess. We got the sort of Halloweeny, autumny fall kind of one, which is the kind of like the browns and the greens. We've got the winter one, which is obviously the all blue from the Christmas adventure mostly. In earlier winters, we got the regular skin, which I guess is just kind of like spring and summer. But then we did do that series where it was either in Kingdom of the Saplings or its own Let's Play, where we played a mod called Tropicraft, which was like tropical islands and all these different kinds of biomes. And I had more of like a floral shirt, and I always imagined that as like the summer skin, you know what I mean? So kind of the default Minecraft skin is just a it's just the spring one, I guess. What else have we got? Is that everything? Yeah, sorry, what was the Steve Evo chant? That's the one thing that I didn't catch. What's the Steve Evo chant? Was that just a chant from like the Minecraft Evolution series? Oh, right, I see. So it's when nobody had skins. Okay, yeah, it is, yeah. So in the earliest episodes of the Minecraft Evo series, I don't know if it was a server issue or if it just was a case of that's how Minecraft was back then. But nobody, except for, I think, Minnie and I think Grian, I think if you just didn't have skins for some reason. It was weird. It's in the Clips channel. Is it really? Oh, God, this is going to be a throwback. Let me download this. Hold on. Steve chant. Oh, we don't need to turn this up. Hold on.
Steve. So surreal with so many Steves jumping around. Steve. I feel like
crowded by Steves.
Here we go.
God. I'll be honest, I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. That's funny. Is that everything for that rank? BFL, Wish Background, Steve. Oh, Monster Race. Monster Race is fun. So our friend Tomahawk wanted to raise some money for special effects. And basically entered us, or asked us if we would like to participate in something called the Monster Race. And he pitched it to us as being this thing that's quite easy to do. It's only a 5k, but it has mixtures of like Tough Mudder put into it. And it was genuinely really fun. Like, I'm really happy and proud that we did that, and we raised quite a bit of money for charity, and quite a few of us wore GoPros when we did it. So I think Tom had one, Nettie had one, I had one. A friend of ours who now works at, I want to say Lad Bible Gaming, I think is where he works currently, is a guy called Mr. Williamo, who might be a throwback for some people. And the reason I mentioned him is because his GoPro was attached to a sponge, like just like a small, you know, a small spongy brick, if you will. And he spent most of the 5k in this Tough Mudder just biting down on it, like biting down on the sponge to then hold the camera in place. So he had a bit more of like a POV. And I was like, I've never seen madness like this. I've never seen madness like this. It was bizarre. We're all there with our chest straps or our head straps, and he's there just biting down like a dog who's found his favorite bone. But that was really good. I really enjoyed that. We did that with a bunch of people. We did it with myself, Nettie, Squashy, Draz came over and did it, Mr. Williamo, Tom. I think Millie was there, but he didn't participate. Yeah, Gizzy was there. Gizzy was there as well. Yeah, he was there. And a really cool thing, actually, just a random, this is a really random bit of trivia. But when we got to the end of it, there happened to be some of Nettie and Tom's fans there. And one of the fans is also called Annette. So my wife Nettie is called Annette. And one of the fans there was a girl called Annette. And she is actually in Game of Thrones. She is, if anybody remembers the scene in Game of Thrones where they are beneath the castle and the tiny sparrows, Littlefinger sparrows, stab that old fella to death. They each have a little plunge. She is the one that speaks. She's the kid that speaks just before the stabbing. And for Nettie's birthday, because she knew that Nettie loved Game of Thrones, she actually had she was shooting another season of the show. And this little girl Annette, she went and got signatures from like Tyrion Lannister, and who was it? She got them from Tyrion, Jaime. I think she got the Gwendolyn Christie and whoever plays the Hound as well. I know I said other character names, but yeah, that was a cool little bit of trivia. And it was really sweet. They were at the end of the run, and they had a little sign up for Nettie and Tom saying like congrats and stuff like that, and that was really sweet. That was really, really cute. Pig in Honeydew, yeah. Okay, so this one I actually mentioned in the... So there was a video that went out recently on YouTube on the Yogscast channel, which is a members video, where we go through a bunch of the old Minecraft parodies and stuff like that. And this is a detail that I brought up there, is that in the old Honeydew yeah song, I am the pig in the song. So if I grab this, where is it? How weird is it that my part is the most replayed moment? Have you noticed that? Look at like the most replayed. There's like a sudden spike for me. That's a bit weird.
Antique grills. Oh my God, did I grill?
It was such a thrill. And here I come. I think I pretty much did this in one take as well. This is the one time that I've sang well and Sparkles was like, you got it. I can probably still do it, I think. Don't cry for me. Just keep it inside of your big dwarf belly. Yeah. So there you go. That is, that's me. I'm the pig. I'm the pig in Honeydew. Yeah. I was in a lot of the old songs just because me and Sparkles have enough of a different voice, but enough of a similar voice where I could like comfortably layer him without him having to sing in different tones and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Actor in Shadow of Israfel. Yes, I was. Let's see if I can find it. It's, I don't know how this episode is aged. Where is it? Shadow of Israfel. It was an episode where, isn't it Lysander has like a love dungeon or something like that? But this was very early in me knowing the Yogs. Where was, God, what episode's it going to be? Shadow of Israfel. Which one's it going to be? So it was an episode where basically they needed somebody to jump in and they didn't have their usual people there to like puppeteer the characters. And where I'd been in the Ventrilo server for not even like a week or two, they asked me if I wanted to come in and actually help with doing one of the characters. And I was like, it was that was scary to me because obviously I'd only just gotten to know them a teensy bit. And then all of a sudden they were asking me to do that. And I was like, oh God. What love dungeon? Wasn't it a love dungeon? Wasn't it like Lysander had like a basement that had like a bed and stuff. So I played a character in it called Umbongo. And I think Umbongo was usually played by Duncan, but I think it was a case of Duncan was either sick or he was just away. So they needed me to jump in because they literally didn't have anybody else that was kind of on the inside circle that they could trust, if that makes sense. And I think we'd recently kind of like gained some trust. You were on Bongo. Yeah. I was on Bongo for like one episode. Does anybody know which episode it is? It's okay if not. Maybe there's like a Shadow of Israfel wiki. Shadow of Israfel wiki on Bongo. Maybe it will list off what episodes he's in. Last appearance, episode 29, The Cage. I feel like it wasn't that episode. Yeah, Residence, Skylord Jasper. Oh, that's it, Jasper. Skylord Jasper's Retreat. What episode was that in? Episode 25. Let's have a nosy here.
Okay, that's it.
Oh my God, what a throwback. Oh, let me pause this.
We've got one piece of the map.
What's going on? I've got deja.
Map that
Where
we
is
did.
it?
Right.
Oh,
So is they come to the house and then they
Ow.
have to flee or
There's
something like
something.
that?
Oh God, watch out! What the hell is
Oh
going
my
on?
I reckon, yeah, I think it was maybe the next episode then, is when I took over.
For sleepy, sleepy.
thing out there.
Yes, I think he was quite a posh. This.
What? Look, Lysander.
Goodness, these trees are.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there I am. Umbongo.
pink. He should be punished. Just run.
Here we
for
go.
it.
So this is it. So,
Run for it. Oh God. Oh,
so when was this uploaded? What date?
Very naughty boy.
This was July. So I basically posted Form This Way in March, and then they probably would have touched base with me about 2 weeks later. And then I think basically July is when I went to their... no, it would have been 2012 I moved to their offices, wasn't it? So this was a year before that.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I was shitting myself, chat. Let me tell you. I don't even think I had that many lines to say, but I ended up having to say them or typing them.
No!
So it was a completely silent roll, but I was still scared out of my mind. Because you got to bear in mind, these episodes were getting like 2 million views a day. Like these were like daily episodes for a time.
Bongo, take me with you.
No!
Oh, crikey,
God.
there's that creeper. Woo! Careful, careful. Where are we?
Oh.
It's hilarious
Oh.
how bare bones this is, but
Spacker,
back in the day it
saved
felt
us.
so epic.
Oh, flipping
There I
heck.
am. There's
Forgot all
me.
about Spacker. He just appeared out of nowhere. We would have just left him there. We would have just.
I think I have to do more talking on the ship as well.
Oh, flipping heck.
I was bricking it the whole time though. I was so nervous, you've no idea. Do I even speak again? I must do, right? Maybe I don't. Did I really not? Oh, many thank you. The map show way home. Oh no, okay, so it was supposed to be slightly broken English, but Christ on a bike. It was just. Did I just jump off the ship?
That's lovely. Well, this is all wonderfully happy.
But can you imagine how nervous you
No,
would be
he's not.
if you were
Oh,
one of the people
why
watching
then?
Israfel during its peak, and then suddenly you were having to like play a character in it? It was just the most surreal, bizarre experience. Like it was really strange, really strange. So yeah, there you go. The Lapis sub badge, we had that for years. Also, Lapis Lazuli is how I pronounce it, but it's supposed to be pronounced Lazuli. But I think that was one of my influences in the earliest days of Minecraft when I was one of the big kids. And Lazuli is kind of like floated around since then, which is quite funny. And then old parodies. So we've got a few old parodies. We've got the Ting Tings, That's Not My Name. And there's a song called That's Not My Train. We've got Duncombe and Drive, which is a parody of Rihanna's Shut Up and Drive, which is about a lorry driver called Stan, and he's basically just going to the drive-through. It's basically as simple as that. He's going to Mackey's. What other old parodies do we have? We have Professor Green's I Need You Tonight, and it was called I Should Get a Life. There was... Oh, who makes that song? It's called... The lyrics go, I want to know your name. That's it. It's called One by Swedish House Mafia, and it was called Brain, or something like that. So we had a parody of that one. I'm trying to think what other parodies we had from back then, because a lot of those parodies were from my like Habbo radio days, like so when I was like 15 through to like 17, something like that. Oh, and then American Boy wasn't a parody. That was just a cover. Well, I say a cover. I think I was just lip syncing to the... Oh no, it was a cover, wasn't it? Yeah, because I sang it. I don't know what I was thinking then. I don't know. 16-year-old me should not have been given a camera in the internet. just no. I've tried to purge as much of that stuff off the internet as possible, because I don't want Amelia and Robin ever being ridiculed about it when they go to school and stuff when they're older, you know what I mean? That's why things like the old vlog channel has gone, like the old joint vlog channel has gone, for that exact same reason, just because just be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Seeing your dad with someone else that's not your mum. Just be a bit strange, I think. It's the sort of thing that no child ever really sees. They only know what they've ever known, sort of thing. So yeah. The helium video. Now the helium video I think is still up. This was after, I want to say it was my birthday. Martin Helium. If you search it, it's like the first thing. This is just, I'd been for it was either Nando's or Chiquitos or something like that. And people always joked that I sounded like I was on helium. So I made this video to show them what I actually sound like on helium. So it's like a bit of a meta video, really. Chat, guesses on how old I am there. Like, obviously the helium's not helping with the sound, but even just the look and my demeanor. How old would you guess I am there?
Americano. It's only bloody Chiquitos and Nando's and the Frankie Bunnies. See ya, bye.
But yeah, Christ on a bike. That's such a cringy video. I've always wanted to get rid of it, but there's something just quite innocent and just quite silly about it. But yeah, I want to say 20, no, how old would I have been? So that was my first year of uni, or latter end of first year. I would have been at least 18, maybe 19. But God, I didn't look it. I looked like I was still in like sixth form or something. Take me to my destination. Yeah. Yep. I just looked very, very young for a very long time. So that's why at that age, everyone was like, nah, you won't look good with a beard, because I still didn't look like I could even grow one. I probably could have grown it just fine, but it just probably would have looked very bizarre on somebody that had such a baby face. So, yeah, there you go. What else we got? Can Cow Swim? The first ever Minecraft video I uploaded with my friend Max. I think we were both on pirated versions of Minecraft as well in that video. Let me find it. Can Cow Swim? So I decided that I wanted to give Minecraft videos a try. Yeah, here it is. So how old is this video? That video was uploaded February of 2011. So that was 12 years ago I uploaded this. And look, Kickflip at the start of it.
I don't know how to intro it.
Mine, don't move.
Why?
Behind you.
An
ice skating pig.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That is
God, the voice. Fuck me. Oh boy. So no, I wasn't on a pirated version, but my friend Max was. That's why he's a bloody Steve skin. But yeah, basically we were using Doku Craft as the texture pack, and I don't even know what our goal was with this. I don't know how many episodes we even did of Martin and Friends. Was it literally just the 2? It might have just been the 2. But yeah, me and Max were basically playing together, and we were abysmal at the game, and
never had one delivered.
it's just like old school, proper old school, very, very old. 2011 ... All right, how many people in chat were born in 2011? Level with me. Level with me. Come on. You were 10 in 2011. That's not as bad. Still pretty bad though, to be fair. And then finally, the sapling swirl from Naruto. So this is something that I've sort of mentioned here and there over the time, but people still don't seem to know about it. Is the headbands that I wear. People often still, to this day, just draw it as a single black piece of cloth, which I kind of prefer, genuinely. But what it actually is, and why there's that silver bit in the middle, is because that is actually meant to be a Leaf Village headband. Because basically, when I started playing Minecraft, was around the same time I started watching Naruto, and I was just deep in Naruto at that point. Never got into Shippuden, but was making my way through the regular Naruto. So I needed to make myself a Minecraft skin. So I gave myself, you know, green top, blue trousers, because I like those colorings. But when I obviously didn't have nearly enough pixels to draw the swirl on the forehead, I moved the Leaf Village logo onto my shirt, but again, that was still too wide. So I turned it vertical to use more of the length. Still was too big, so I took away the little points, and then that's how we were left with the sapling swirl as we know it today. So if I do Leaf Village headband, you'll see what I mean. Let me see. Open image in new tab. There you go. So that's the Leaf Village headband. So you can see how I took away the pointy bit there and then did the swirl. I think I've even inverted the direction of the swirl as well. And it's obviously not quite as swirly as the original one, but yeah, the sapling swirl is literally just the hidden Leaf Village logo on my torso. And also the backpack on my back is a bag that I was just using for college or uni at the time. And it was this really crappy, cheap string bag. You know, like one you would put like your swimming kit in or something like that. It was just a white bag. And if I load up my name MC so you can see my skins. Where is it? Accept. Everybody's always wondered what this is. And I think I have mentioned this on stream before as well. Here we go. So, oh, not on that skin, I guess. It'll be on this one. So that bag is literally from the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. So I'd been to a press screening for it because when I was doing student radio at uni, I had a movie segment where the movie journalist from the student magazine would come in once a week and they would come in and do a movie review. And after a while, I asked whether I could go to these press screenings as well because we get to see them a few days before they would release. And yeah, basically that ended up being a little like gift bag that we got when we went to the screening of it. But you can see like the red from it. So it literally said like Hot Tub and then Time Machine I think was in black. So that's what that string bag was. It's just it's such an uncool thing, but it's ended up being part of my character for years. I kind of don't mind now that people just do that as like a heart or as like a random bit of red, but it's a Hot Tub Time Machine logo. That's as deep down as you're going to get into the dark. It's very silly. But there you go. That's it. That is the InTheLittleWood Iceberg. Went off on a lot of tangents, but I feel as though I'm not going to do one of these videos again and again and again. So doing it once and doing it right, it took an hour and 41 minutes, or an hour and a half to do this. Oh, 7-Eleven. Oh, okay. 7-Eleven was basically when we used to do the Big Friday live stream as well as any other live streams. My usual stream time used to be either 5 or 6 p.m. start, and I would finish either at 8 or 9 p.m. And basically at 7-Eleven, just because we weren't on late enough to do 11:11. At 7:11, which was roughly the midpoint of the streams, we would listen to a song by Area 11, because at that time they were just about to release their first album, or had just released it. Area 11 released All the Lights in the Sky. And then, yeah, basically we used to play an Area 11 song, and that's what 7:11 is. So there you go. In the Littlewood Iceberg, complete. Very good, very old, very nice.